There is something you ought to consider. In pagan Christianity, they often talk about the end times, about how Christ is about to return. But as you know, they have that rapture myth that they keep preaching, which makes people passive aggressive. But even those who don't teach the rapture myth, they emphasize on the end is almost near, the end is almost near. Didn't Christ tell us he comes as a thief in the night when nobody expects it? He said there will be signs that his coming is near, that's true. But he expects us to be active in faith, to walk in life in abundance no matter what. And those pagan Christian churches, those pagan churches, they don't teach you to be active in faith in the here and now. It's all about remove yourself from society and from the world in general. Center your whole existence around the cult of the Babylon church. Going there every Sunday and have a close interaction with the people of the Babylon cult. And you remain that way your whole life. Of course, you need to go to your job to pay the bills. So you go to your job, pay bills, you pay extra taxes at the pagan church or the Babylon church, and you also pay taxes at the government, and you remain quiet in society to make people comfortable. You don't speak out against evil, you don't overcome evil, you don't overrule evil, you don't do any of that which Christ requires of you. And then you remain that way till you die, and that's it. All your potential has been wasted away. That's what Babylon churches do to you. So when Babylon churches talk about the end times, they have an agenda with it. Remember what I told you. The pagan rulers of the world, they reveal things that are true, but they do it in an inverted manner. They do this to trick you in their deception. So they reveal what's going on, but they do it in an inverted manner. Now, what do I mean? They say it's the end times, Christ is about to return, Christ is about to return. But what if those Babylon churches are the initiators and the enforcers of the false peace that will be in the end times? What if that false peace has been going on for a while already, but we just didn't realize it? What if those Babylon churches are diverting our attention away from what's going on by pointing to conspiracy theories? There were conspiracy theories that Obama was Antichrist, that Bush was Antichrist, or that that Saddam Hussein was Antichrist. There were so many theories about the Antichrist. Despite it, Revelations chapter 9 verse 11 makes plain that Apollo, a demonic entity, a Nephilim filth, is the Antichrist. For some reason, none of those Babylon churches and those pagan pastors read it. That's already a red flag. Look, what I see happening is the following, and this is my observation. Those Babylon churches, or pagan churches, however you want to call them, they are enforcing peace on the world, and they're dominant in it. But their peace is not Christ-centered, therefore it's not real peace at all, and it will not last. It's a bubble in which there's relief from violence, but no deliverance from violence. In this bubble, negative tensions are there, but they are tossed around. Just like they toss sluts around in some of those discotheques or in cults, because you have cults where they do that, the same way they toss the scapegoats around. So the scapegoat mechanism is still going on, but it's hidden now. It's so hidden you can't see it. And Babylon churches use pagan Christians as the scapegoats. They even go so far to make the pagan Christians responsible for the peace of mankind. That's how far they go. Here's what's going on. Those pagan churches, those Babylon churches, they are the enforcers of the false peace of Antichrist, because they are part of Antichrist's rule. And this is how it goes. In pagan Christianity, the peace they teach you is to leave reprobates at ease. Because the pagan rulers of the world know that when reprobates are challenged, they go out of hand. Well, Christ wants them to get out of hand, so they will destroy themselves, so that his kingdom will remain. But the big rulers of the world don't want that. They want the reprobates to be at ease, so that the reprobates can continue to spread negativity around. Because it's by the reprobates spreading negativity that the human population is kept in the negative and the demons can feed off of them and this paranormal rule continues. So pagan Christianity is the instrument of the shadow government, of the wizards that rule this world to keep us in the negative, to keep us all in bondage, to keep us in a fear state. So pagan Christianity tells you to give reprobates ease. Pagan Christianity pampers the predators. And because the predators are at ease, they don't escalate. But because the predators don't escalate, people don't see the evil what it really is, and people's eyes are not opened, and people continue to believe the deception that things are all right. That is what pagan Christianity does. And people think that pagan Christianity is their friend. That they think that pagan Christianity is from God. It's not. Pagan Christianity will make you into a harlot spiritually, and you'll be tossed around. Just like in some of those crazy cults, you have those women that are used as sex slaves, they are tossed around the same way pagan Christianity will make you an energetic prostitute to be tossed around, and you'll get the blame for all the waste that's going on in the community. That is what pagan Christianity makes of you. If you are offended or upset by the comparison I make between sex slaves or sluts and pagan Christians, well, that's on to you. I'm telling you as it is. That's what's happening. That's what's being made of you. And they will use you as the target of the rage of the world. So in pagan Christianity, as a pagan Christian, you are made into an easy victim. And just think about this. In prostitution, the women that are captured by their pimps, they have to function as the dump site, as a trash can of the insecurities of all the customers. Because many of those customers that go to prostitutes, that go to red light districts, they're married men. That's a fact. They're not just lunar men that don't know how to talk to women, and so they pay some 30 euros or 50 euros just to do their thing. Many of them are married men that are frustrated. Or they are men with issues against women and they want to take it out on someone. So all that heavy energy is in the community. So if you have all those marriages or relationships where the men are frustrated, you don't want that frustration to escalate in the community. So you provide an outlet for the men, red light districts, and you have some women that you traumatize and victimize into sex slaves, and they now have to receive all the waste for all those men. I'm using this as a parable. What does pagan Christianity do to its members? When it's just like a pimp, or just like our lover boy. A lover boy love bombs you, welcomes you, you think you are so special, you think you're going to spend your life with that guy. And once you're so attached to the guy, suddenly problems will emerge financially, and the guy asks you to help him out. And of course you want to help the guy out because you're so in love. You think this guy really wants me. And then he comes with the option of you sleeping with some other guy, and you think, you know what, why would I do that? Because you're so in love, you don't come think straight, you get along with it. And before you know it, you're being beaten, traumatized. A prostitution ritual is done on you by the shadow government. I won't talk about that in this video, but that happens to, I would say, 99% of all prostitutes. But okay, well, after this happens, you're brainwashed, you're messed up in your head, you can't think straight, and you have all those men coming, dumping their waste on you, physically and energetically, and you're the ones left with all the hurt. And now there's also a stigma on you, so you can't talk about what you're doing because, man, people are going to condemn you also. Now that happens when a lover boy and a pimp, because the lover boy works for the pimps, and the pimps are working for the handlers, and handlers are working for the wizards, which are the shadow government. That's how it goes. Now, the wizards that around this world, they do it similarly in pagan Christianity. You arrive at the pagan church to talk about Christ, how Christ is about to return, and that you better get get saved now, because if you die tonight, you don't know if you're going to heaven. Oh, they scare you. You become frightened, and you want to relieve from being frightened. So you give in, you surrender. You give your life to Jesus. You say the sinner's prayer. And once you do that, you go to the altar. By the way, that's a pagan ritual, going to the altar, but okay, you go to the altar, and the pastor lays hands on you, and the whole community embraces you. You feel loved, you feel welcomed. You think, I'm at home. So you begin to attend the local church every Sunday. After a while, there are issues, there are conflicts. And of course, you want to help out because you want to serve the Lord. But then they tell you that you need to recruit people to come over there. Then they tell you that people are hostile towards Christ, and it's your responsibility to make sure they're not hostile towards him anymore. So they put the blame of the hostility of the wicked onto you, even though it's wicked that are hostile, not you. And then they tell you, you need to appease the government. You need to make sure that people in the community are at ease. Because if they're not at ease, it's your fault and you'll get in trouble with God. So now you're under fear, obligation, and guilt. You're now directed. And just like that sex slave or slut or prostitute, whatever label you want to use, just like her, you're now receiving the waste of the community. You've now become the trash can of the energetic waste of the community. Because the pagan rulers of the world make mockery of pagan Christians. Through the media, they present pagan Christians as very dumb, stupid and all. And by the way, they make the name of Christ ridiculous through the media. So when you say that you're a Christian or that you follow Christ, they begin to hate on you. And there are all kinds of accusations that people have against Christ, and now it's your job to make sure to appease those people. First of all, Christ never asked anyone to appease his enemies. Why not? Because his enemies cannot be appeased. They are his enemies, and he will deal with them in the right manner. You get what I'm saying here? But pagan Christianity tells you, you need to make sure that Christ's enemies are at ease with him. They twist scripture. They make you into an energetic harlot. I know there's a difference between the term harlot, slut, prostitute, and all of that. They have different contexts, I know that, but it comes down to the same thing. You become the dump site of other people's insecurities and energetic waste. That is what pagan Christianity does to you. And haven't you noticed that, oh, please don't attack me for this, but have you noticed that many former promiscuous women tend to join pagan Christianity and they are elevated over there? By the way, if a woman used to be promiscuous and now she wants to follow the Lord, I have nothing against that, absolutely not. However, what I see happening in pagan Christianity is that they become like a recruitment vessel. They've become like a recruitment vessel to recruit all the women that are unwanted by the community, because those that are loose sexual past. And now they bring them into those pagan churches and they keep them there so that the rest of the community won't have to deal with them. So they're actually relieving the community. So now those women are also love bombed, guilt trips and all of that. And now they force one of the men, those pagan Christian men, to marry them. And that's how their life has been improved. And then they go out there and give their testimony of how Christ changed them. Now, what has really happened here? That female convert to pagan Christianity, most likely she's not born again. She just got relief in the name of Christ, but it's just relief. And she got a husband quickly to cover up her past. And now she's a respectable member of society again. So it's all about getting the social validation of society. It's not about glorifying Christ. Look, if a woman used to have a loose sexual past and she becomes born again, she's born again, she renews her mind, she's cleansed from the inside. This will work out physically also. So she's completely renewed. And she walks in a feminine energy, and people are going to notice that she's walking in a feminine energy, and this is going to attract a lot of people asking, well, what happened to her? And that's how Christ is glorified. Okay? What they do now in those pagan churches or those Babylon churches is that not only do they make you, as a pagan Christian, into an energetic harlot, they gather literal harlots out of the world and incorporated them in their pagan church system. And they even gave some of those former harlots, some of them are not even former harlots, they're still harlots, they gave them position as pastors. They put them in leadership position over other people. Hello, come on. Christ made plain that men ought to be the leaders of the world. But in pagan Christianity, they pick women, sometimes women who don't even want to repent of their loose, promiscuous lifestyle, and they make them the head above men. What? And now those women become pastors, and their husband, the Ahab husbands, become second pastors. That's mockery. Yet pagan Christianity does it. Now they even have homosexual couples becoming pastors and ministers. It goes very far. Pagan Christianity makes you into an energetic harlot or energetic slut, whatever label you want to use. I can make a video explaining the origin of those words and where they come from if that's needed, but just understand that's what pagan Christianity makes of you. There's no difference between the prostitute that's captured by her lover boy and she has to work to appease the wrath of the community, because that's what prostitutes are for. Or there's no difference between her and the pagan Christian that has to go to church every Sunday and also pay taxes to the pagan pastor. There's no difference between the two. Also, there's no difference between the female with issues that tends to be loose with men and women, because today they're also loose with women. Sometimes even becomes pedophilic because it tends to be loose towards women that are much younger than them. There's no difference between such a woman and the common pagan Christian. There is no difference between the two. The only difference is that the curse works out differently with the one in the streets than with the one attending that pagan building. But it's the same thing. They become an energetic harlot. And Christ does not want you to become an energetic harlot. Okay? Look, this video is not to condemn people's past, okay? I'm just using these examples to reveal unto you what pagan Christianity does and how evil it is. So pagan Christianity makes you into an energetic slut so that you will receive the ways of the community, so that the community is at peace. That's the peace pagan Christianity brings, which isn't peace at all. It's peace at your expense. You only get some relief and some compensation. Harlots get the same thing. Prostitutes get the same thing. But you are being destroyed. And your pimp, which is the pagan pastor, or your pimps, which are the rulers of pagan Christianity, which are appointed by the wizards, they are laughing at you. You're the one paying them taxes, while you're the one receiving all the waste and all the trouble. And they are at ease, living in their penthouses, living in their villas, having private jets, Rolls Royces and all of that. And you both have to enslave yourself at your regular job during the week, pay taxes to both the government and to the pagan church, and you receive the waste of the community, and it's your own fault, they say, because you need to manage the waste of the community. Come on, who in the right mind would sign up for something like this? Well, that's it for now. Agree with Christ and please depart from pagan Christianity. Depart from it and stay away from it as much as possible.